It was well before daybreak that we picked up this female cheetah. And behind her was this little fluff ball. Previously we'd seen that she was definitely suckling and was certain she had cubs with her. And it was really nice to finally find her with one of the cubs on a carcass. The cub is really a bizarre looking creature. Just a huge sort of mohawk running from the top of its head right down to the base of its tail. Fluffy, really crazy looking creature. The mother moved off to edge of a termite mound underneath the crotons and lay down. Quite interesting, there's a lot less attention from the mother towards the cub than I would have expected. With leopards, there's definite obsession with the mother and the cub. This cheetah seems to be stimulated by the cub more than the mother. Eventually, cub moved around the back side of the female and managed to get in and decided to suckle a little bit. Really nice to see this female. That injury on her leg seems to be healing quite well. So that's good news for us, and nice to have this cheetah becoming a resident in the area.
My all-time favorite birding moment in the Kafue National Park has to be this collection of hammerkoppe that gathered around this small pool in the Nanzilla Plains. Something that impressed me was how tolerant these hammerkoppe were of other bird species around the pool, and here tolerance of the great spur-winged goose that was on the side. A huge bird by comparison, but it seemingly was not any kind of competition for the food. And the process of getting that food into the throat was also an exercise in patience. A repeated bashing of these small fish must seem to be necessary to actually stun it completely before it would attempt to swallow it. Very brief mating moment that I captured on film. Lots of staring at the water, in this case together with the great white egret. Again, both of them exercising great patience. And exceptionally diminutive when compared to this wattle crane that was on the edge of this pool. This was a different scenario, different time of day, and the visitors kept on changing, but the hammerkoppe patiently remained where they were. A different time of day and a different visitor, this time a white-headed vulture who was scavenging on the carcass of a big catfish. A visitor who hovered continually in the vicinity was the pied kingfisher. A beautiful specimen that continually would come and go throughout the day. This pair of wattle cranes were interesting visitors to this pond. But it did give rise to a small altercation which surprised me because up until this moment it seemed that there was a relative amount of harmony between all the various species of birds. A pair of saddle-billed storks also put in an appearance, and it seemed that these birds, just like the fish eagle, were not in any rush to actually join the crowd around the edges of this dynamic little feeding spot.
On the side of this stream, an area of shingle and pebbles, and taking refuge here, two delightful little terrapins or freshwater turtles. Quite a long tail on this terrapin, and on their feet some little claws evident. I'm assuming these are babies of a much larger variety rather than just a very small species. But in truth, I've not been able to identify them at all, despite hours of surfing the internet and browsing through reference books. They seem content just to stay here, as hidden as they can be, the only movement being the eyes, occasionally turning around, having a look about, and then the neck extending and thrusting slowly the snout up towards the surface of the water to draw breath. When they did this, they reveal some little orangey red lines along the neck and the side of the head, which aren't immediately apparent when you first see them. They seem content to then keep their snout up at the surface of the water as long as nothing disturbs them. Occasionally they picked up my camera movements, and then the head rapidly retracted back into the carapace.